Hello and welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is the earnings special edition where our focus is on the IREDA earnings. And joining us now to discuss the earnings as well as the outlook going forward is the top management of the company. The Chairman and Managing Director, Mr. Pradip Kumar Das, is joining us on the show. Pradip sir, welcome to you on Business Today Television, and always a pleasure to host you with us. Before we get us started on to what has really gone well for the earnings in this quarter for you, I want to congratulate you because the company has now been awarded the Navratna status as well, and we've seen the stock price react to that very positively in trade today. Do tell us, what will this really mean for the company going forward before we address the earnings fine print, sir?
Thank you, Zaki. And if you recall, in all my interactions earlier, we never talk about numbers for future. We talk about the concept and fundamentals. And 12 quarters, quarter on quarter, we have shown the growth, be it sanction, be it disbursement, be it loan book addition, be it reduction of NPA. So it's not important whether we are growing sanction at 33% CAGR or something, but what is our loan book? Because after sanctioning, whether you are disbursing or not, and after disbursing, whether you are able to retain or not. So ultimately, 27% growth we have shown in loan book addition. And if you see in the country, capacity addition, 3 years, 17, 13 and 10 gigawatt of additions. Annually, if you see relatively, the growth was, percentage addition was lesser. Whereas in our case, despite country's figures or industry figures, we went on continuously growing in every sphere, and at the same time, we ensured best quality corporate governance. Why I'll talk about that? Last year, we were the first NBFC who could publish the result earliest. This time, we are the first banking and non-banking taken together NBFC who has published the result earliest. So that culture of giving fastest reporting, that is there, we are sustaining. And if you remember, last year also, we have the third corporate who did the annual general meeting the earliest. So this, in addition to the number growth and drastic reduction in net NPA and gross NPA, and best quality corporate governance, and having no major comment from the regulator, that is Reserve Bank of India. So that is our achievement. If you see, if 12 quarters we have shown that fundamental and culture is there, so any kind of number, anybody, any analyst expect, I think we are going to do better than that.
Absolutely, sir. You're right on that front. And of course, highest ever annualized profit is what we've given this time around. Do tell us, how sustainable this growth will be for FY25 on the bottom line for you, sir.
See, again, I'll recall when I said last 3 years capacity addition in the country was not that encouraging, though we are growing, but already our ministry has announced that 50 gigawatt of bidding they will be doing annually. So when 50 gigawatt of bidding annually will happen, that means a clear-cut indication the industry is going to grow faster. When growth was not there, if we could add 27% CAGR in loan book, when growth will be there, definitely our loan book we can sustain and we can have much more growth there. And most important is that we are having the mastery in this sector since 37 years. And we are working in pure play renewable space since 37 years. And the growth in energy sector has to come from renewable and new emerging sources. And in those space, we are doing pretty well. If you see our quarter to quarter comparison, we have grown almost 100% in sanction. And 25% of our loan book is coming today from emerging space. And there we have grown 100%. So in the new and emerging, our growth is happening. That means the sector is growing, we are there to support, and same we are expecting in the time to come also. See, today almost 191 gigawatt additional capacity, installed capacity in the country. We need to have another 310 gigawatt. So fair amount of business is there. And since we are master in this industry, we can safely assume we will sustain this kind of growth. Not only will sustain, we will further improvise in this.
Okay, sir, since you mentioned that the growth will come from the renewable energy space, this is clearly the key focus of the government as well. We've heard from the Prime Minister in his recent comments that he wants to aim for a zero electricity bill. That is his ambition in the long term. He's earlier talked about the PM Surya Uday Yojana, which you've also spoken to us about in the previous quarter too. How do you see this as a big opportunity for companies like yours, which are the largest financiers for the public renewable energy focus, sir?
See, two things. One, the fair amount of awareness and about energy literacy that has to be there. This 1 crore residential housing renewabilization or solarization that will enable at least 50 crores of population's renewable awareness. And when we talk about renewable energy development, the faster the awareness, faster the development can happen. All along, be it Honorable Prime Minister level or Government of India or our Honorable Minister or Secretary or our stakeholders or developers, apart from that, the general public need to have fair amount of awareness because they have to be more renewable energy user oriented approach. So
Yes.
that will enable fair amount of opportunity for doing business and reaching to the 500 gigawatt by 2030.
Okay, understood that, sir. Sir, apart from this, if you could help us understand, where do you see the loan book headed from here by the end of FY25? What is your own ambition?
Our ambition is to fully explore our networks to 7 times. That is the maximum we can go. And at the same time, we need to ensure a healthy CRR of 17 plus percentage so that we continue to get this triple S stable rating. We are now upgraded to Navratna. We will have fair amount of autonomy and we are confident of getting the consent for 54 EC capital gain bonds. And fortunately, our investor sentiment with respect to our stock is quite high. And fair amount of renewable energy awareness will enable IREDA to connect with the general public through 54 EC bond. We were expecting to generate fair amount of borrowing so that our borrowing cost, average cost of borrowing will come down. And that will enable further to pass on to the sector, which in turn will enable today which projects are not becoming bankable because of interest rate, while getting this lesser cost of borrowing through 54 EC and in turn enabling the our lending cost lower, those projects will become bankable. So
Okay.
we are quite confident of this activity in the time to come.
Okay. Sir, you've also managed to bring down your NPA levels to below 1% as well on the net side. Is it going to be sustainable? Will you also have some more levers to improve the asset quality further from here, sir?
See, percentage of NPA reduction can happen in two ways, by enhancing the loan book and by not enabling new NPA. But we have done third thing also. We have enhanced the loan book and we have not allowed the new NPA. Further, we have recovered from our old NPAs. So three things happened at a time and we have been doing this since last 4 years. If you see March 2019-20, our net NPA was 7.18, which was quite alarming and gross was 10 plus. And double digit gross NPA is not a good sign. From there on, we could reach to 2.32 of gross and net 0.99. The same trend we are going to continue and we have a very robust review monitoring team and we have very robust appraisal mechanism in place. These are the two key points. If you do the quality appraisals, that will enable lesser NPA. And if you have robust review monitoring, you can connect with the early warning signals so that you take corrective action. And see, the developers are putting their money. And three agencies are working to make the sector workable. That is policymaker, lender, and developer. Three has to work in tandem. And so far in last 4-5 years of experience here, I have seen the three agencies are working in very cohesive manner. And we are confident the same trend will continue. And we are also confident that we are going to further bring down the net NPA. And our team's dream is to reach to zero net NPA as soon as possible.
All right, understood that. So, all the very best to you, sir, for the upcoming quarters, and many congratulations again for this stellar set of numbers that you posted for this quarter, and the ambitions and the vision that you have for the company going forward. Always a pleasure to speak to you to get fair understanding and insight into what the company is planning going forward. That also gives a great idea to all our viewers, many of whom are your shareholders and have been celebrating the great run on the fundamental side as well. Truly, thank you so much for being with us on the show.
Thank you, Sakshi. Thank you.
All right, viewers, with that, we will wrap up this very special edition on the earnings front. But do stay tuned as Daily Calls comes up next to help you understand, in case you are getting stuck with any of your stocks you are holding in your portfolios, then you can join us with the expert advice coming to you directly from our top guest today.